and welcome back to the second hour of the Long Voyage episode, whatchamacallit. And we are in the middle of the sacking of a village, or a town as it is. It's not a village, it's a town. It's bigger than a village, thank you. But Baggy has decided that he's going to take on a mounted warrior by cutting away the horse from underneath the man.
Because why the fuck not?
Because why the fuck not? And well, let's yeah, he's this is a somewhat what I'm going to do is, because you're doing that attack explicitly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you guys attack pretty much simultaneously, because you know he's swinging from up on high down towards you, and you are swinging lower at the horse trying to get under the blow.
Sure.
So go ahead.
I'm just going to find let's see, axe, and my axe.
That is certainly a hit.
Yep.
Let's get some damage.
Oh yeah, damage is a thing.
There you go. 5. The horse is unarmored, so clearly you are doing damage to it. The man on the horse is attacking as well. He also hits.
Okay.
And he has a damage bonus because he is, you do when you fight from horseback, you get a bonus.
Sure.
But let's see what he can do. Oh Christ! Yeah, okay. See, this is what happens. Is he swings with a sword, and he does strike you in the body, because again I haven't aimed or anything. He strikes in the body, which is not enough to even go through your armor.
Nope.
And that is basically because you do hit the horse. You don't cut the horse's leg away under it, but you do deliver a really vicious gash to its chest and its front left leg, which makes it buck, obviously. Poor creature. I mean, obviously it does, and it neighs and whinnies in pain and bucks and refuses to obey his command. And of course, this means that he has to roll to control the horse, which he does. So basically, the following round, but the horse is now. Let's just say it's not keen on attacking you again. Horses learn quickly, and you know the whole thing about them being unwilling to charge sharp objects. The horse now is now very well aware that you have a sharp and pointed object.
Cool.
Yeah. So the following round, he has to yet again try and control the horse to even get it to charge, and you can again if you wish to attack.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's see if he can even make it attack, because if he can't, then he's really screwed. He can't.
Cool.
He fails. You don't, on the other hand. You hit. You're still going for the horse?
If I can, I'll go for him.
Oh, you can. I mean, as I said, he is struggling to even. The horse is bucking. It's wounded. It wants to leave this place. It really does not want to have anything to do with you. You are coming closer, and that frightens the poor thing. So you know he tries to so he only gets nasty. Okay, yeah. So he is trying to control the horse, and that makes it swing its rear end around. So basically, he suddenly presents a nice, beautiful flank to you, and you just bring your axe up and into him.
Yep.
And that's 8 points isn't going to kill him. but he is now in a desperate situation because he does have to, next round he has to try to hit you on a horse that isn't under control. So he's in trouble. So new round, and he tries to hit you. The horse is out of control, so he does hit you, but he doesn't get a bonus this time because the horse isn't working with him.
Can I parry with my shield?
Yes, you can, or block as it is. But yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cool.
So you catch his blow on your shield. You turn it aside, and let's see what you can do with the opening for your own attack. You can hit.
5 points of damage.
And 5 points of damage. He is, amazingly enough, he does wear a little bit of armor, you see. So he is still there, but he is bleeding profusely. His blood is spilling past his lips. This man is absolutely breathing his last right now, and he looks at you with with fear. The horse bucks yet again, tries to throw him off because by now it's in a blind panic. And wounded as he is, he can't hold on, so he is actually thrown from the horse.
Oh, cool.
And the horse bolts, it just runs to escape.
Yeah.
But he lands on the ground, and he doesn't get up. He's still alive.
Technically.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, Bagel just finished him off.
Yeah. That's I'm not going to ask you to roll. He's incapacitated, unable to defend himself.
Yeah.
He just finished him. So yeah.
Cool.
And you realize when you do this that you are standing not on a marketplace, but it is an open space in the town, and you can see some of your fellow crewmates arriving. They're coming from other directions, basically. A few of them are known to by name. Some of them are named crew members. So you see. Let me see who's arriving. You see Unar. So this guy arrives. You see Steingrimmer and his sister Jangerder is there, and 3 others that aren't named. So 6 people in all arrive, and they see you standing there with the man who's dead on the ground. They just give you a nod to say that just acknowledging, and they see the running horse as well, so they can put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
And literally just as you guys do that, you get to roll me a, what's that? Let's see. Is that perception sight?
Perception sight.
Yes, just you.
Okay.
So vision.
Nope. No, it's everything here is too confusing and messy, and you see you're more focused on these guys. But what then that means that the rest of you guys, apart from Ylva, the other 3, you guys see these 15 men coming up on a small opening where you can see 7 of your guys, including Bagi. And it doesn't look like they've noticed, like your guys have noticed these enemies yet.
Uh-oh.
Bagi is the only one who's facing in the right direction, and he seems to be busy with something else.
I think he's just flashing a wide and I imagine rather bloody grin at this point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He happy.
So what do you guys do who are bringing up the pursuit of these 15 men? What do you want to do?
Good question. I imagine at this point that Sindri is running quite low on arrows.
Probably yes.
How easy is it for us to see the other members of our team through this throng of elite soldiers?
You can see them, but you can't. If it's because you want to wave to them or something, that's probably going to be that's going to be difficult.
My thought was I was going to shoot an arrow to their feet so that it would get their attention.
Oh, that would be an exceptional shot. I'm not saying it can't be done, but it would be incredibly difficult.
True enough. Okay.
Basically, I would ask you to roll, because you're shooting through a narrow street. Or relatively narrow. There are 15 men between you and them, and you need to avoid hitting any of them on the way.
Well, even if we hit one of the
Yes.
soldiers, that would still... I don't know. Oh, God.
Frothy or Gylfi, do any of you have any idea?
Well, we could initiate the attack if and then the others could follow up.
That is a very good point.
That's really the only thing we can do at this point.
In that case, I think Thrody charges up a fireball as much as he thinks he can.
Yeah, so three points.
3 points. If he has time for that, then
He does. I mean, it's only about 3 seconds, so you stop and just
and then if they have someone who looks like a leader guy.
Yeah, but he's at the front of the column, so it's a little harder to see him from where you are. It's, but you can shoot this thing into the back of the column, and I guarantee you will get their attention.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you throw this 3d6 fireball into the group, and it does. Yeah. Ouch.
You want me to roll it?
I would love for you to actually roll it. Yes. To see.
To hit or just damage?
You know what? Let's get it to hit. I mean, you could fail. So.
I can't. I don't want to.
No.
I don't.
You don't. So roll some damage. Yeah. Yeah, one of these men running, they're all running towards you. One of them is suddenly turned into a running torch. The screams are unbelievable. People, I mean, anybody who has ever, had so much as a blister knows how much it hurts to burn. This man is surrounded by fire.
I think that should get their attention, both enemies and allies.
Definitely, you don't even have to roll to notice that, Baggy. You see that, and so do all your friends. And the fact is that this man, the fireball has enough of a diameter to actually, another one gets singed. He doesn't get killed by it, but he gets singed. And it completely breaks up the attack because of the panic. So the front 5 men continue charging as they're supposed to. Everybody else half stops and turns and looks, because what the hell? And it's everything just devolves into a complete chaos. And obviously, the moment that happens, it takes the momentum out of their charge almost totally, because if you charge as a column and 2/3 of the column then stops following, that's not exactly helpful. So your friends, your crewmates, Baggy, they just basically they turn immediately and countercharge, and I'm. What about you?
Yeah, I'm with them.
Yeah, and it's not pretty at all, and I'm not saying you guys aren't going to come out of there with some scrapes and cuts and so on, because they do still technically outnumber you, but now they're also outflanked on both sides. You are in melee with them. The other 3 are all at a distance and can use bows and such like. So I'm going to roll to see how much damage you come out of this with, but it shouldn't be much. It really shouldn't be much. And let's see. Yeah, and then you subtract your armor, so 3.
Yeah, it was a very, 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 very efficient way of going, surprise attack, bitches.
So
Cool.
So you subtract your armor from that, and that's and then it's that takes care of that. And at that time, you can hear, it's not loud, but it's there, and you can hear the horn.
Oh. Guess we should get
Back to the
Yep. You don't have any idea how much damage has been done as such, but you can see that flames and fire are that you know the flames are spreading. There's no question that the fire that has been started is significant and will do a lot of damage. But how many people have died, you really have no way of you know, you only know how many you have personally killed. But you guys all turn and head back towards the ship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not a fighting retreat. You don't have to, because you've killed Ilva. With the man that you killed in the street there. You have 9 to your name. And Bagi comes out of this with 12, and then there's this group, so he comes out of this with 14. And yeah, so the
if it's a clean retreat, I think
Yeah, it is.
Thordy might, you know, set a few things ablaze on the way back.
yes, which means that by the time he comes back, obviously he's also going to be completely exhausted.
Yes, I'll subtract another 4 points.
Yes, how much do you have left then?
3.
Give me a health roll, please.
Uh-oh.
Health.
Yeah, just roll your hit points. Whoops. Yeah.
Wait, was it hit
Yes.
points or health?
Health. Sorry, health.
Alright.
So yeah, so you roll health, and you know, by the time you guys reach the ships, this too, by the way, for Frothy, this is undoubtedly the most intense use of magic he's ever done in such a short time.
Yes.
It's a lot of strength that he's drained out of himself in the space of practically no time whatsoever, and by the time you guys get back to the boats, he faints. He passes out at the water's edge. Somebody is able to get him on board. That's not a problem. You all get back safely. There are, you know, nobody from the crew has been killed, but there are a couple of people who have been wounded. Ilva is probably the one who's been hit the hardest.
I'm guessing she's back around the same
Yeah,
time as
yeah,
mine,
absolutely.
because she's had to walk very slowly.
Yeah. So you guys see when she arrives, she comes staggering more or less with
Blood everywhere.
blood everywhere and an arrow sticking out of her chest, and it looks that looks like something that would have killed lesser people.
She's doing her utmost to not breathe while breathing.
Yes. So but you do get on board, all of you. You get the entire crew with you. Nobody's left behind. And you push away from shore, and what few arrows you have left are then you're basically told to put flaming arrows into any larger boats that you come past, because, you know, so that, you know, just to complete the devastation. There's no question they can't follow you as such. They wouldn't have time to, but, you know, you burn 2 of the ships on the way out as well. And you make good your escape, and lightning raid accomplished, basically. But Frothy,
Yes, I am.
you are out. You are out cold. In the bottom of the ship, the rest of you are. You can see it. He is breathing very shallow breaths, and there is bloody froth on his breath when he breathes. it's not that you're in any immediate danger or anything of the sort, but this is one of those examples where this is what happens when you use the body too hard with Southlander magic, and he so you are
It's probably actually a good point for him to realize, okay, I've been using a lot of magic as of late, maybe I should slow down.
Yeah. That makes sense actually. But you while you are asleep, you see you have it's extremely peaceful for you. I mean, for you, it's super peaceful. You can't hear what's going on and people shouting commands and so on. You're unconscious after all. But you see yourself standing at the prow of the ship, of the Fagerferd. It's totally quiet. The ocean is like a mill pond. It's just there isn't. It's so clear you could see your reflection in the ocean. That's how quiet it is, and that's normally way too cloudy for that. But you're still moving forward very, very slowly. You're facing forward, so you can't see what's happening behind you in the ship, but you are still moving forward. And there's mist in front of you. It's a very heavy bank of fog, and the ship glides into it, and you don't really know how long you're there. It feels like a remarkably long time. In fact, you're pretty sure that several days go by while you are in this mist. And finally, when you wake up, you see there's a coastline ahead. There's a clean beach. It's totally clean beach. There are no buildings, there are no ships, there are no boats, there are no no signs of people at all. There's just white sandy beach right in front of your eyes. And you get an increasingly uncomfortable sensation as you get closer to that, and you're just about to land on this beach, just about to land on it, when you look up towards the sky, and the sun breaks through the mist, and the sun is bleeding.
You?
Big droplets of blood dripping off the surface of the sun, and then you wake up.
In the ship.
In the ship.
With someone trying to pull Ylva away who refuses to listen because Frodi, goddammit.
Yeah, and she's being told to sit the fuck down and, let somebody take care of that arrow.
Frodi! Oh goddammit! Holy crap!
What? What's going on?
You went out cold. And then she just sits down, like, oh, I'm good now. Plump.
Right.
Easy rest. Your work at the castle town took its toll.
Yeah.
She hands him a clean piece of cloth to wipe his face because the frothy thing.
He does, and searches for a water skin or some such.
Hands him his.
Yeah. Captain Ormer is there as well, looking at all of you and saying, so, Ylva, are you going to be alright? That is a nasty wound.
If I pretend I don't need to breathe, I'm fine. And then she gives him a very little thumbs up.
Yeah. Okay. He nods as okay. She's still got her sense of humor. I'm taking that as a positive sign. Goofy, can you help her with that I'm assuming that you will need to, cut the arrowhead out.
Yeah, once she stopped moving around, maybe.
All right, good. And Frothy, outstanding work on setting the town on fire. Absolutely. Next time I ask you to set anything ablaze, I'm not really referring to your own lungs as well.
I might have gone a bit overboard.
Just a little, just a bit. You're the only man we have on board who knows Froliker. Please do not die on us. We need you.
He looks thoughtful for a moment and then says, I have been going at it rather hard the last while. I'll be more careful.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Wouldn't do to burn out before this journey's done.
You have a very good point.
Time to rest. I hope he's not being asked to row.
No, oh goodness, no. The wounded are being spared that for the time being, and that of course means. And furthermore, you're back out to sea. The sail comes up,
Of course.
and the and you set out, and Ormer has this. You all see it. Just as he's, he leaves the group that he's been sitting with you guys and wanted to make sure that you and Ylva were all right. But you all see the look on his face as you see the open sea. And this time it's not a matter of keeping land on port or keeping land on starboard. This time it's just, no, land astern. Just sail. And you can see it on his face. There is this look of wonder and almost glee that right there in front of you are about to head north from Tearglass. There are other Southlanders who do so from time to time, but not many. This is like throwing away the safety line, and he revels in it.
I think Frodi tries to chuckle as he is caught by the emotion and quickly regrets it.
Yeah, because ow.
But he's feeling it.
Yeah.
That makes Silver go, ow.
Yeah.
Ow.
So you sail out into the wide open ocean, and it is in every way more impressive than any of you could have ever imagined, because when you sail from the Southlands to Tearglass, it takes a set number of days, or within depending on wind and weather and so on, but you know roughly how long the journey takes. You know the direction you're going in. A few times, but not in living memory. That's the point. Nobody who's alive now remembers a time where the Raven Lady has taken a small fleet on a raid further away than Tearglass, because there are still wars to be fought at home. It has happened in the past, but it's a long time ago. So they're almost more like legends. You do know that there are other places out there. There are slaves in Tearglass from far away places. There are who've been captured on various ships, or even, as I said, there are people who go on these long raids, but it's very infrequent. So you know that there are places out there that are very, very different from anything you have ever imagined, and you have no idea how long it takes to get there. And all you're looking at is just water everywhere. And it's majestic, and it's also frightening, because You are basically sitting in an oversized rowboat in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah. I'd say, Orma might be feeling a sense of wonderment. I think Sindri, being Sindri, just looks at it as like, powers.
Yes.
Doesn't say it out loud, he doesn't want to spoil Orma's fun, but...
No, but it's still, oh, crap, this could be...
Here we go again.
Yes. But you are just... It is an extraordinary experience.
Yes.
And, of course, it should be said that it's not exactly safe. Because the weather isn't always nice.
I assume once he's recovered, Frody will be asked to divine about the weather.
Yes, no question. He is being asked to do that.
That at least doesn't take as big a toll.
No, that's true. But it's also it's. I mean, I'm looking for a good picture here. This is actually a fairly decent picture. I mean, imagine being on board something like this. And I'm just going to show I'm just going to give you guys a link here. There we go.
Yeah.
You know, that is, when it's beautiful and calm like that, it's an amazing thing to experience. And then, you know, it doesn't stay that way. So I do need you guys to roll me a couple of skill checks for your seamanship.
Right, what was that skill? Was it crew or something?
Yeah.
Crewman.
Crewman. Yes, crewman.
Also, it's gotta be nice being over with the clutch. Yes.
Damn it, Frody.
Holy shit.
Well, at least the others are succeeding quite spectacularly.
Yes, and that is. But this is the thing. There will always be someone who, you know,
Sucks.
Ifs up.
somebody who messes up at some point or other. And
I'm guessing when Ilva gets the arrow out, she's back at the helm.
yes, definitely. And what happens?
Still gonna roll on how good well she holds it though.
Yes, but here's what happens. After about... Actually, not after about, but after 11 days at sea, you've had reasonably good weather. You've had plenty of fish. So, you know, while it's kind of monotonous food, at least there's been enough of it.
That is always nice.
Yes, that is always nice. And after about, as I said, after 11 days, you are, despite your best attempts at divination, you get blindsided basically by a storm. It whips up in no time, and I mean it's so fast. It's you go from in real time. For us, it would be a matter of you going from complete perfect quiet weather like the photo I showed you, to utter horror in less than 4 minutes.
Wow.
None of you have ever seen anything even remotely like it.
I suspect the storm might be... There might be more to it.
Powers are testing us.
And now that you've rolled your tests, basically, I can see 3 of you succeed, 2 don't. Alright.
I'm blaming the huge ass wound on her chest.
That's fine. You manage to get, you know, everybody helps. But in weather like that, having the mast and the sail up is suicide.
Yeah.
It has to come down. Because it could help you capsize. Otherwise, it's simply way too dangerous. You have to
Or it could break.
It could break, and you managed to get it down just in time, and therefore I'm going to show you an image here. The mast on this one is broken. It wouldn't be for you, but other than that, this is what happens, or this is what you see after not long into the
Ooh, complete with the eyes and all?
Yes. That wave rises to smash you. And from within the wave, this shadow of whatever it is, some kind of enormous creature stares out at you, and you can see the eyes, and you swear, all of you can hear this from within the wave.
What the fuck is that?
I think it's time to pray for, was it the Lord of Waters?
Yes.
That's what Frody does.
Yes.
We throw some of our fish overboard to appease him.
So yes, you throw some kind of sacrifice overboard, basically in an attempt to appease the Lord of Waters.
Well,
And
somebody suggests it. But
Well, yeah, no, that there are a couple of people who take that as, pardon the pun, gospel truth, and start chucking things overboard immediately. Ronnie has to step in and stop them before they start throwing food stuff overboard, because you don't have enough of it, especially the water.
we need to keep doing water.
Yes,
But we don't need to chuck water over. He's got plenty.
yes, and
No, he's not the Lord of Plenty. He's the Lord of Waters.
Very funny.
and there's you can see the face sinks deeper as the you manage to turn the ship into the wave and break through it and come over it, and you can see this gigantic hand coming up almost to grab around the boat or around the ship and crush it in this enormous massive hand. And then as you come down on the opposite side of this wave, the storm clears, and you just again you're on perfectly calm ocean, and the crew is collectively gobsmacked.
Uh-huh.
Ormer is staring into the water with this look of what was that on his face.
I think Ilva just clears her throat calmly as she can, still with a look of what the hell in all the power's name was just that on her face, and says very calmly, "Oh well, that was a big one."
Yeah.
Say,
Yeah, that's yeah, that was a
Actually pulled that.
big one. That yeah.
I don't even know if I should say I'm sorry for not foreseeing that.
I don't think anybody is blaming you. One of the others bursts out, and at this point there's a cry from towards the stem of the ship of horror, and
Uh-oh.
as you turn back there, you realize that one of the ore benches is empty.
Oh dear. Someone got flung overboard.
Looks like it had its fill.
Specifically, the bench in question is the one where Almar were usually sitting. this man.
I think the collective silence is a very good indicator of just how what the fuck people are.
Oh, he was the one who were in depression. Very deep one.
Oh.
Not that's what Ilva says, because she's just have a moment of silence for him.
Yeah, that sounds like a good. Yeah. I think Thrody prays to whichever god or power is more applicable.
I would be the Lord of Waters in this place, definitely.
That the men, or especially Alma, finds his way back to his family.
Yeah.
Sindri is skeptical. The Lord of Waters likes to keep things, even when they don't belong to him.
Gylfi just pulls out his pipe and well, he got to the he finally will be with his family, I suppose, and just turns around and goes back to his duties.
Right. I think being inspired by that, Thrody gets back to his duties as well, so they can get the fog away.
Yeah, and fog it is.
No.
Because you can see it coming rolling towards you guys. After a storm like that, it's not unusual to be, suddenly be, and you can see it rises out of the ocean basically. So heavy fog.
Thrody immediately goes to talk to Orma.
Yeah.
Captain.
Yes.
I know fog is normal after a storm.
Yeah.
But you should know that while I was unconscious, I had a strange vision-like dream of sailing through heavy fog for several days, only to reach a beach that felt unsettling and wrong. And then the sun started bleeding. I take it to be a bad omen.
I think so.
Not to raise any panic, but
no.
He
He takes a look around and says, "How much damage did we sustain from that?" And people start checking, and there are 3 broken oars. Those can be replaced. There are extra oars on board, so that's not too big of a problem. But 2 of the freshwater containers have burst. And he's like, so we have... He looks back to Frothy and he says, well, that means if we do come across this beach, we may not have a choice.
In that case, I suggest we get in, get what we need, and get out.
Yes, I think so. It's either that or we ration the water.
That might be prudent either way, for now. We don't know when we'll hit land.
True. Well, he says, and begins handing out instructions, because yes, that means what is it called? Rationing of fresh water. And it isn't particularly warm, so you're not baking under a hot sun, but you're still working hard. You're still, rowing a ship like this is still hard work. And yeah, on a long sea voyage of this nature, you would normally you would need to fill these water containers one way or another several times along the way. It's obviously, if you had known how to do so using Froliker, that would have helped, but that's not one of your talents.
I could research filling them with fire.
Which isn't quite as, useful in this situation.
But that actually brings up a good point.
Yes.
Maybe Thrody should begin broadening his spectrum of magic.
That is a good point.
He will consider that.
Yes. And the so you basically you get to you get to experience the unpleasantness and downright nastiness of thirst, because there is no way to avoid it, and the water container isn't empty, but it's getting there. When after 3 days of this, and people by this point have parched lips and wheezing voices, when after 3 days you see a coastline.
Has this been 3 days in fog or
3 days in fog.
fog?
Yes, fog. But yes, it has been.
There's no doubt that Thrody will, I don't know, put a hand on Orma's shoulder just to remind him
Yeah.
wordlessly.
Yeah, Ormur doesn't do. He just nods, and he looks around, and he says. He looks at Frothy, and he says, "What we are going to do is this. We are not going to beach. We will sail up very, very close to it, and then a few of us are going to hop over the side, wade ashore, and we're going to see if we can find water."
Perhaps use the Swinned rings to keep in touch with the blows
Yes, I think that's exactly the thing to do.
and warn people, perhaps.
That as well. And he takes one of these rings. He's got, he's got both of them, obviously. He's got one on each hand. So
He then communicate with himself.
yeah.
It doesn't create some sort of weird feedback loop where
Mm.
his voice gets louder and louder and louder inside his
No,
head.
it doesn't. He takes one of them off and gives it to his adopted brother, and then he looks at you guys and says, "You were very resourceful, clearly, when we were back in Tirglass. So I'm going to have you guys come with me, and we're gonna go and see if we can't find water."
Of
course.
Might be prudent to bring.
Bring as many water skins as you can carry, if they're full, and then we will see if we can't, fill. If we can't arrange for something, if it's possible, but for a starter, that's what we're gonna do.
With respect, Captain,
Yes.
is it worth the risk for you joining us? You are part of what holds this crew together. If you were to be lost on that shore,
Yes, that's true. Well, on the other hand, he says and smiles, I have no intention of not being the first person ashore on a new place.
Ah, that's the spirit. Even if this place gives me the...
There is an ill feeling to it, isn't there? He says, I can feel it as well.
Well, at least the sun isn't bleeding yet.
Well, we can't know for a fact, he says. I can't see it.
sun
Oh, that's just...
bleeding. What did you see?
I'll tell you once we get ashore.
Don't think I need you to tell me. I'll be seeing it soon enough. What are you getting me into? You Sindri makes himself ready because he suspects he's going to be the first person to touch ground because
Yes.
scout.
Yes.
Nobody puts a hand on his shoulder. Adventure, friend. You're getting you into adventure.
Silva walks up. Why is he grunting now? And of
tell
course
you.
is pointing at Sindri.
Yes.
I'll tell you when we get ashore.
Yes.
Alright.
You get ashore and start moving inland. Carefully, obviously.
taking the time once we're ashore to tell the others why this place sucks.
Yes.
At least from what I've seen.
Yes. And
Do we have a ill feeling too?
yes, you do. When you get ashore, you all have this feeling that you're being watched.
Let's see. I'd like to try something.
And it's actually very pronounced. You really have a feeling that somebody is looking at you. Or something. Yes. You wanted to do something, you said?
Yes. How thick is the fog?
Pea soup. So it's pretty thick. It occasionally lifts enough for you to maybe spot, something 20 meters away. Most of the time it's maybe 5 or 6 meters away.
Yeah, I wanted to roll a navigation check so that Sindri has an idea of where they are in relation to where they've come from.
Yeah.
Smart. Then we can get back.
Yep.
That's the point. If we've lost sight of the ship by now, surely, so we need to know what direction we were heading in.
Indeed. Well, you do get a pretty good, you have I won't call it an internal compass, but you do have a reasonably good feeling of, we're going in. We're going in the right direction here. And oh, by the way, Ylva, since you asked, yes, your wound on your chest has in fact become a cool scar by now. It's still raw because it's still a very fresh one, but yes, it'll scar quite magnificently.
Is my breathing back to normal?
Yeah, it is. You also occasionally have a coughing fit. It's very occasional. It's maybe once or twice a day, but you do realize that was probably the first sign of something not so good.
Yeah, don't do that again anytime soon.
Exactly. But
Well,
yes.
Ilva will have noticed her wound and possibly showed the other maidens, but because of where it's placed, she wouldn't have showed the rest of the group.
Nope.
Although to be fair, she might have got the attention of at least a couple of the maidens.
The fact is that they you guys do move inland, and you move up the escarpment of the beach and up to a hill almost, or an overlook more like. Except you can't really see a damn thing because still fog everywhere, and unless you move forward from that, Sindri has a good idea what direction to go to come back, even if the fog is that thick. But after about probably about 20 minutes worth of walking, again in character you don't use minutes, but so you guys have an idea, 20 minutes worth of walking, the grass is that you're walking on is healthy and green, so presumably there has to be, fresh water somewhere. But after about 20 minutes, then the fog begins to lift, or at least you get to a place where it isn't foggy.
Oh, this is not.
And what do we see?
You see open landscapes, grasslands, as far as your eyes can see in any direction, except back, obviously, where you came from.
Yeah, I out of character have a pretty good idea where we are.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be here.
No, I don't either.
You have an unfair advantage.
Well, yeah, but we won't spoil anything. We won't say anything because.
From the other hand, so terrified you are, it's probably not an unfair advantage. Sounds like a curse.
Oh, I don't know.
So grassland.
I'm thinking of building a longhouse and settling down.
I'll put it this way. The neighbours will be very interesting company.
Good.
Speaking of which, just grasslands, no water sources of any kind.
Nope. And well, I mean, there could be a small stream or something in the landscape just hidden that you can't see, but nothing of the sort. But it does clearly bother Ormer, and he stops himself before he, the moment he can see something, he stops himself and holds out his hands to his side and says, like, no, don't go any further. Go back into the mist, and we'll try following the coastline for a little while to see if we can't find, a stream or a pond or something of the sort.
My vision did warn that once the fog lifts, that's when bad stuff happens.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Right.
Yeah, and this feeling of being watched, just it's enough that all of you would probably be looking over your shoulder every other moment by now. You're absolutely sure you're not alone.
Yep.
Back into the mist then.
Yeah.
No one has ever seen Ilva be so attentive before.
Nope. And as you pass back into the fog, we shall take our second break.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun.